Look at your arm right now. Go ahead, I'll wait. See those tiny bumps? That's your body trying to fluff up hair that isn't really there anymore. Your ancestors had fur thick enough to trap heat like a down jacket. You have peach fuzz. So here's the question that's going to bug you for the rest of this video. If hair was so important that evolution spent millions of years perfecting it, why did humans basically throw it away? And why do we still have it, thick, stubborn, sometimes annoying, in exactly a few specific places? Our heads, our armpits, and other areas we don't talk about at Thanksgiving dinner? Stick around, because the answer involves ice ages, sweat, sex, and a parasite that almost changed the course of human history. Let's rewind. About 7 million years ago, our ancestors looked a lot more like chimpanzees than like us. Covered head to toe in thick hair. And that makes sense. Every other mammal on Earth has fur for a reason. It keeps you warm, it protects your skin from the sun, it camouflages you from predators. So somewhere along the way, humans became the naked mammal. We are, hair for hair, one of the least hairy creatures walking the planet, and scientists have a name for this. They call us naked apes. But nature doesn't remove a survival tool for no reason. So what happened? Here's the leading theory, and it's honestly kind of brilliant. It was about staying cool while hunting. Picture East Africa, a couple million years back. The climate is shifting. Forests are shrinking into open grassland. Our ancestors are no longer swinging through trees. They're walking upright, on the savanna, under a brutal equatorial sun. And here's the thing about early humans, we weren't the fastest. We couldn't outrun a gazelle. We couldn't outmuscle a lion. But we had one secret weapon almost no other animal on the planet had. We could sweat. A lot. Humans have up to 4 million sweat glands. Compare that to a horse, a dog, or a chimp. They barely sweat at all. Most animals cool down by panting. We cool down by literally leaking water through our skin, and that water evaporating pulls heat off our body like a built-in air conditioner. But there's a catch. Thick fur traps that sweat against your skin instead of letting it evaporate. It's like wearing a wool sweater in a sauna, completely counterproductive. So the theory goes, the humans who happened to have less body hair could cool down faster. They could chase prey for hours in the midday heat when other predators had to rest in the shade. This is called persistence hunting, literally just following an animal until it overheats and collapses. No claws, no fangs, no speed. Just relentless, sweaty, bald endurance. Less hair meant better hunters. Better hunters survived, and slowly, generation after generation, we sweated our way out of our fur coats. Okay, so if being naked was such an advantage, why didn't we go all the way? Why do we still have hair on our heads, under our arms, and in certain other spots? Turns out, each patch of hair you still have is basically a museum exhibit, leftover proof of a specific survival problem our ancestors had to solve. Head hair. Let's start at the top. Literally, your scalp is one of the most exposed parts of your body to direct sunlight. Standing upright under the African sun means the top of your head takes the most direct hit of UV radiation all day long. Thick head hair acts like a natural umbrella. It blocks UV rays from frying your scalp and, this is the part people don't realize, it may help protect your brain from overheating. Your brain is incredibly heat sensitive. Even a couple of degrees too hot and it stops functioning properly. Hair on the head is basically evolution's way of installing sunshade on your most expensive piece of hardware. Eyebrows and eyelashes. Small, but mighty. Eyebrows help channel sweat and rain away from your eyes so you can actually see what's chasing you, or what you're chasing. Eyelashes are basically tiny motion sensor tripwires. They trigger a blink reflex the instant dust, bugs, or debris get close to your eyeball. Both are cheap insurance for your most important sensory organ. Armpit and groin hair. This one surprises people. These areas are packed with sweat glands, specifically a type called apocrine glands, that release a thicker, protein-rich sweat. Body hair in these spots isn't there to keep you warm. It's there to trap that sweat and hold onto pheromones, chemical signals your body releases that, even though we don't consciously smell them the way animals do, may still play a subtle role in attraction and mate selection, according to some researchers. Yes, your armpit hair might, in some distant evolutionary sense, be a leftover dating profile. There's also a purely mechanical reason. Hair in these areas reduces skin-on-skin friction where your body bends and rubs constantly, which helps prevent chafing and irritation. Now here's where the story gets a little unexpected, and honestly, a little gross. Some of the best evidence for when humans lost their body hair doesn't come from bones or fossils. It comes from lice. There are two main species of lice that live on humans: head lice, which cling to hair on your scalp, and body lice, which live in clothing. Here's the key detail: body lice can only survive in fabric. They need clothing to exist. Geneticists studied how long ago head lice and body lice split into two separate species. Since body lice couldn't have evolved until humans started wearing something, that split gives us a rough timestamp for when clothing entered the picture. The estimate from several genetic studies lands somewhere around 170,000 years ago. That timeframe lines up reasonably well with when many scientists believe humans lost most of their body hair. The logic is elegant. Once we stopped having fur, we needed something else to keep warm at night or in colder climates. So we started wearing animal skins. And the moment we did that, we accidentally built cozy little apartment buildings for a whole new species of parasite. So next time someone complains about lice, you can tell them it's possibly a 170,000-year-old side effect of humanity's decision to go bald. One more piece of the puzzle. Why does hair texture and color vary so much across human populations? Why is hair typically straighter in some regions and tightly curled in others? Some scientists have hypothesized that curlier, tighter hair textures common in populations from equatorial regions may create more space between the scalp and the hair itself, potentially improving airflow and helping regulate head temperature under intense, direct sunlight. Though this is still debated, and hair texture is influenced by a complex mix of genetic factors we don't fully understand yet. Skin and hair pigmentation, on the other hand, is much better understood. It's primarily tied to UV exposure. Populations that evolved closer to the equator tend to have more melanin. In other words, human hair isn't just one story, it's thousands of small, local stories, each one a response to the specific environment a group of people lived in for tens of thousands of years. So let's zoom out for a second, because I think this is genuinely one of the coolest things about the human body. Every strand of hair on you right now, or the lack of it, is a little bit of a fossil record written in soft tissue instead of stone. Your scalp hair is a sunshade for your brain. Your eyebrows are windshield wipers. Your armpit hair is a scent trap and cushion. And your overall lack of body fur is quite possibly the exact reason your ancestors could out-hunt lions and tigers on the open savanna without a single weapon. We didn't lose our fur because we got weaker. We lost it because we found a smarter way to survive, by becoming some of the best long-distance, heat-resistant runners on the planet. The next time you feel a little insecure about body hair, or lack of it, or you're annoyed about shaving, or your hairline, just remember, you're not broken. You're carrying around several million years of extremely specific evolutionary engineering. If this made you look at your own body a little differently, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. And subscribe, because next week we're diving into another question you've probably never thought to ask. Why humans are one of the only species that cries emotional tears. Drop a comment and let me know, what's one body feature you've always wondered, why'd I even have this? I might make a whole episode about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.